10 points to anybody who recognizes this one. Baby, for a long time, you had me believe that your love was all mine, and that's the way it would be. But now I know that you were putting me on, and I probably feel a whole lot better when you're gone. Got a little fancy at the end. We don't have a super elaborate morning roundup this morning. I was kind of just making up for lost time yesterday and the motor took forever. But we do have a D20 here. I think the cursed item of the day is the toast. Maybe a week, I don't know. For some reason, this thing keeps having a thermal runaway, and I can't tell whether it's the bed or the nozzle. We will do experiments. Sharko just about done, and somebody paid extra to have a D20 with infill. So we did that. And right here, we are printing the egg. Well, it's time to ship off this Hank Aaron. This is a version without the hat. Really turned out nice. Just look at that. Amazing. The fries. And we've got the mech. Yeah, we got another torta. This is so good. Apropos of nothing, but I feel like coming generations will not appreciate just how much of an incredible comedic gift it was that liposuction was invented in our generation. Like, imagine being in middle school and liposuction has just been invented. It's like a gift from the comedy gods. It's like mankind discovering fire. Like, there's just nothing. It's weird that we all take it for granted now, but at the time, that is the platonic ideal of something that a 12-year-old wants to joke about. Between that, OJ being innocent, and all the scandals with Bill Clinton, this is like 90% of what we joked about in the 90s. Check that out. A ring of mushrooms. Interesting. We did the tests. The bed is the thing that was causing this thermal trip. Now, from the old shop, I have this many CR10 beds. That's a lot. Now, most of them, I know they don't work, but I think one might. So what we're going to do is we're going to test them and see if any of them are functional. Might as well start with number one. All right, we are getting a temperature reading. That's good. We're going to put it at 65 and see what it does with that. Yep. All right, this one is going up in temperature. That's good. Okay, I think we got lucky. The first one works fine. You may ask, why would I have such a huge stack of CR10 beds? Several of these are actually from these printers when I put on the aftermarket bed heaters. So I knew that there was probably one or two at least that work. Since this bed is messing up, we're just gonna replace. We're just gonna replace and replace. We're gonna replace, replace, replace. One last thing we're gonna do, we're going to position it in different angles and stuff, because every once in a while you'll have a bed that does work, but it glitches out based on the angle of connection. Like there's a short somewhere. So we're gonna reposition this a few times, let it sit, reposition it again, and if it's good after a while, then we're gonna replace this. Okie doke. We put the bed in all kinds of weird positions. It did not cool off, so I think we're all right. We got the new bed installed. It seems to be doing okay, and it took forever to do that. It is time to take our new pipe for a spin. Smoke them if you got them. Really nice. Now that we have the bed fixed, we should probably list a new item. We're gonna hit 3 for the week already, and we may get a 4th tomorrow or the day after. Not bad. I really like this pipe. The carvings are so cool. It's like a mini Sherlock. It's rather small. Somebody should make man therapy, and we'd smoke cigars or pipes or something. Man therapy would be like, we grill some steaks, we're sitting on a porch and we're smoking cigars. Wow, Jeff, excellent reverse sear on this porterhouse. Also, let's talk about your early childhood. That would work so much better. You'd really get to the bottom of people's issues. It just requires a little beef. Me and my wife back in Austin, we went to couples counseling, marriage counseling for something like 9 months. I think I spent 6-7 grand on that. And at the end, it did not work. It was mostly because she wasn't doing all the stuff. The advice wasn't that good in retrospect, but even the bit of it that was good was not adhered to. I mean, I'm not shelling out money like that and not doing the work. This is kind of self-aggrandizing to say, but it is the truth. A lot of the time, me and this therapist lady were kind of agreeing on stuff so much because I had read a lot of the stuff she had read. Although she was a professional and she did know more than me. In retrospect, it seemed like the whole thing would have gone down a lot better with a nice steak. I want to say each session was like, it was either $120 or $180, and we did it either once a week or twice a week. I think it was once a week. It sucked, but it mostly sucked because of the money. I actually felt like, even though the whole thing was very sad and painful, I felt like I got a lot out of it. I mean, I was kind of determined to get a lot out of it. But yeah, for that amount of money, it's like, I should get something to eat out of this. If I'm gonna dish out $180, I don't want to be hungry at the end. That's all I'm saying. It was good in a lot of ways because you couldn't, like, obviously it wasn't supposed to devolve into a debate, which is a little bit my default orientation. And it was tough too because sometimes she would cite somebody and I know that that's not what that person thinks, that particular author or whatever. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta not say things. It's very true. Don't say everything that comes into your head. Of course, they always tell you to say whatever comes into your head. That is a trap. Don't do that. But yeah, out of that $180, spend 20 of it and give me a sirloin. That's all I'm saying. Little Chihuahua dish. Oh yeah, candy buttons. It's live. Call me Persia, because I rack up the winds. All right, let's package this Moai. Oh man. Join that Discord, link below. Dash render. The next Tiffany costume should be themed Boston Tea Party, or maybe Sam Adams. Giant teacup prop, giant silver beer schooner. It's interesting because, like, I wonder how much the rest of the world kind of knows about those events. I don't know. She needs to come up with something. I agree, like, Massachusetts is historic enough that there should be something. The Liberty Bell is in Pennsylvania, right? I don't know. We'll think of something. Wayne tells us that Mrs. World is at the end of January. Okay, so we've got a little time. Target Layer Lab. Everyone should just start sending him random motors they think will work. Lol. Would make for some good vids at minimum. I'm not saying no. JR303. Great, now we're all accomplices. After watching some of his older episodes, he says, well, it's just see what happens far too much. Well, now I'm going to be self-conscious about it. Chihuahua of the day. JP Letty, another nice afternoon roundup. Love the jester hat. It speaks to me. Shane Christensen, love the intro, bro. Simple minds. Simple minds think alike. JR303, what's your thoughts on Kiss? He might be asking this because he's watched older episodes, but I know a guy who's a bassist and he's a session musician in Nashville. He had the best summary of the band Kiss of anybody that I've ever heard of. He said, Kiss is the best worst band of all time. I get in a weird mood sometimes and I'll listen to some Kiss. I like Lick It Up. It's just so... They turned disdain for artistic integrity into an art form. Gordon Kane, looks like the Pine Squares is a square dancing club in Lufkin. They may or may not be still an active club. Maybe I could just waltz in there and act like I've been there the whole time. I knows pickin'. You are amazing. I don't know how you philosophize without smoking your pipe. Well, the most important pipe is the pipe you don't have to smoke. What am I grateful for today? I am grateful that we hit our 3 products for the week. We're still plowing through. Sales are good. It's fun that the candy buttons are finally out there in the world. Let's see who pops them. I don't know what you do with what you call it. Man, I wish there was an efficient way to make a big peppermint, you know? But it seems like it'd be a lot of taping and stuff. I'm gonna have to look at pictures of one. A big peppermint could be pretty cool. It seems to me you could maybe make like a swirly giant sucker, or those swirl sucker things. I don't know what they're called, but you can make like 3 different colors and do part of the swirl in each color and then lock them together and maybe bolt the whole thing together somehow. It'd be a little complex, but it could be really cool. Maybe that's what a lollipop is. A swirly lollipop. Oh yeah, the whole lollipop guild thing. Yes, that kind. I think I've said this before, but the first serious band I was ever in, we never wrote songs. The guy who led the band had a rule against us actually writing songs. So when we would play gigs, we had to make everything up on the spot. In other words, we got in front of all these people. I mean, the crowds weren't huge or anything, but like, you know, it'd be like a room full of people, and we had nothing planned at all. And we also had a rule that you couldn't play something you've played before, or if you, like, not anything that anybody would recognize, let's put it that way. You couldn't, like, do something you did when we were practicing. Anyway, all that's to say that I developed the skill of being able to figure things out really quick. So when I was saying the Lollipop Guild thing, my brain was going like... Legitimately never tried to figure this out before. We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, and in the name of the Lollipop Guild, we wish to welcome you to Munchkin Land. With that being said, tell me what you're grateful for in the comments. It could be the performance of a lifetime you just witnessed, but it could conceivably be something else. Write down in the comments. We like to share our thoughts with the community. I will read typically at the end of the episode. Join the Discord below. It is obviously a party. People are posting crazy stuff down there, and it's amazing. Or maybe it's up there. I don't know what orientation. It's cyberspace. Who knows? You guys are the best. We are the Gratitude Gang. All you gotta do to be in a gang is just be grateful for something. We drop the goodness every single day. Isn't that right, Mr. Chihuahua? He says yes. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
essence. I'm seeing to standing in a moment. What has been is cast aside, frozen there as time rode. I know that you must have died. Light waves surround you. Open up your mind. Time to say auf Wiedersehen. Open up your mind. Create me something precious. Find me something free. Empty my possessions. Everything I need. Through emotions. And we're all going to die. So leave me something precious. Another sunlight. Lion waves surround you. Open up your light. Time to say auf Wiedersehen.